Hey guys, you remember the K23 hybrid motor we made where we took an RDX head with a turbo and put it on a K20?
Oh yeah, dig it!
Well, we finally figured out what our budget turbo motor was going to go into, and that's the Budget EG. Welcome to the VTEC Academy. You're about to get schooled.
Dig it!
Budget EG is back for more modifications, and AD's here to help me out. He's back as well. So AD, how's it been going?
Not too bad.
Yeah, thank you for helping me pull parts in the salvage yard. I really appreciate that.
Anytime.
Okay, cool. So basically, we are going to take our turbo motor and put it in our Budget EG and try to figure out what kind of horsepower we're going to get out. But the first thing we need to do is we need to pull the old motor out. So that's what we're going to do today. I guess we need to start, and let's get going here. Do you have a sequence you go through when you pull a motor?
Drain the fluids.
Fluids first?
Yeah.
I think, you know what I always forget, and you should do always first? The battery, yeah. Exactly. Let's go ahead and pull that off. We can actually put it on a charger so it's nice and charged, because I don't think I've started this car for like about a month and a half, 2 months. Including motor oil are tough.
Because I've been going to the gym.
You ate your Wheaties, is that what you said?
Yeah.
You said weed.
Weed.
Wait, why didn't you take it off from over there?
Barbs.
It's got barb fitting. And I hate barbs. They're as bad as Karen's. Yeah, this brass has got barbs on it. I probably should replace it with a nylon one that has smooth fittings. That way they come on and off. Well, let's go up.
All right, hold on.
Right?
Yeah.
Melting our shift cables. We'll have to do a repair. What we'll do is make sure they come out to the left and then come across. So you can see the...
This is the protective coating, right?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a steel cable, and then inside that there's another sleeve. So, well, I used to have a plate that, I think when we changed transmissions, we didn't do a very good job of fixing it all. But we can fix it now. So I had a few years of making modifications to stuff as we swap motors around and such. This would be a good opportunity to clean all this up, get a little bit nicer. I'm going to go ahead and pull the harness. You know what we'll do? Pull the header, the harness, the transmission, and the clutch, because they'll be going on the other engine.
Not the header.
And the idler pulley. Yeah, the header.
Say what?
Oh, no, we're turbo. Dude, for some reason I had supercharger in my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. We'll throw the header away.
In the bin.
No, I'm kidding. Let me fair and pull the engine. There we go. Never mind, I got it. Will it come right off?
Yep.
Now, it's the question is whether or not I should use that with the turbo. I think no.
No.
I'll probably get a different clutch for the turbo. I should have a couple somewhere. Okay, so phase one of our three-phase plan is done. We pulled the motor out. By the way, we are gonna, this is our hybrid, not hybrid, what do we call this? This is our Frankenstein. This is our Frankenstein motor where we took a K24 bottom end and put a TSX head on it and took it out and dynoed it and didn't quite make the 200 horsepower we wanted to make. But we are going to work further on this. We've got another car, we're going to slap it in and put a bigger exhaust and a better intake air tube on it, and hoping to get our 200 horsepower. If that doesn't work, we're going to throw it away. Okay, not really. We'll try cams maybe. Anyway, phase 2 is I'm going to bring the K23 over here with all the parts we need to make it a complete engine. You made it pretty complete, but it was like the turbo was complete. Yeah. So we'll bring it back over, make it complete, bolt our transmission back up, and get her back in the car so we can try to fire it up. And actually, we should be able to fire it up without hooking the turbo up. The turbo will just be the exhaust, you know what I mean?
All right.
So we can get it running and then call somebody to come over and make intercooler stuff for it.
This one's not going there.
Is that threading right?
Yeah, I think the threads are messed up or something.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That would suck if this engine was no good. I am making a thread cleaning tool because we have one of the threads are messed up on the flywheel. I'm not flywheel, on the into the crankshaft. So I don't have a tap that's, what is that, like M12 by 1.0. So I'm making a thread cleaner out of another flywheel bolt. So there's our tap. See how it works out. Wow, that doesn't go in very deep.
That's what she said.
Not in my experience. Cool.
All right.
You got it. That wasn't terribly difficult, was it? All right.
So that's aluminum?
That's aluminum.
Okay.
Yeah, it was squishing like toothpaste as you were tightening it. This is the K23 that you put together a while ago, so a couple months ago. So what we're going to do now is we're going to install it in the Budget EG. We're trying something a little bit different. This is something I just kind of made. I had an idea of turning this manifold into a center feed. So I made this adapter plate that's going to bolt on the underside right here. And then we're going to be able to bolt our throttle body on. And once we have that done, we're going to make a plate, it's not done yet, that'll have the map sensor and the temperature air sensor where the throttle body used to go. And we're going to basically turn it into a center feed. So I think center feeds generally perform better, so I think that's going to be a big plus. The other thing is I think it's going to help our routing with the turbo. A lot of people, when they do turbos, they do the top-down flow or bottom-up or whatever it is instead of cross-flow. Because we have a center feed, we'll be able to take our turbo, come in, do a cross-flow, come back in, and then feed it like that. I think that's going to help our packaging quite a bit because we don't have end tanks on the top and the bottom, which are blocking the radiator. So I thought this would be a cool way of doing it. This is just an early test piece to see how it all works out. You can see it's machined out for the idle air control valve. Throttle body is actually a little bit oversized. And again, all the markings are because this was a prototype. We're just kind of proving out the program. So if it works out, shoot, we'll make them. So normally I don't like showing stuff for prototyping because then people start asking me for it before we're ready to manufacture them. But if this works out, we'll probably put it into production really quickly. All right, let's, you want to go ahead and install it, 80? Cool. I'm going to get the harness and see what needs to be done with it because we're going to have to move some stuff. I just dropped the 10 in. Well, we'll just have to see if it fits. What I have is a skunk throttle body that doesn't stick out quite as far. So if this one winds up not working, if it winds up interfering with our radiator, we'll get the skunk one. All right. because that does stick out pretty far.
We either do an aftermarket throttle body or we'll do the whatever. But the wiring harness, otherwise, my TPS reaches. It just goes underneath. The air intake temp sensor, I'm actually going to put it in, I'm going to put it on this plate right here, so that reaches as well. And the map sensor wiring reaches, so we'll have a map sensor on this plate as well. So the only thing I really have to modify is idler control valve. I need to make that a little bit longer. Easy enough to do. I'll just make a little extension for it, and I wonder if I'll have to see if there's a connector that has a male and female side with this style pin in it, because maybe I'll just buy both sides and make a little extension.
Adapter.
That would actually be kind of cool. So, but I think we have enough information. I think we should pull the harness off because I'm going to modify it. And let's go ahead and put the transmission on, throw it in the car.
Okay.
All right, cool. All right. Ready?
You can go low.
Whichever mount aligns second is the one we want to lower to.
Hold on.
Let's go ahead and lower it down, but basically just put the throttle body on, and I forgot about the purge valve. We need to extend that if we're going to connect it, which might as well. The idler control valve, obviously for smooth idle, it's necessary. We'll leave that on. But the problem, of course, is the throttle body quadrant. It's way sticking out there, you know what I mean? So let's drop her down and see what we can do about that. Yeah, because we could make a bracket that either came off, like maybe it had a couple holes there and came off and pulled the throttle from the other side. It would just be a matter of mounting like a car steps thing on backwards, having the cable wrap around, come up like this. That's how we could do that. And that would keep it fairly tight. Yeah. Now, it still wouldn't have room to put the radiator we had in there, but that doesn't mean we couldn't put a tuck radiator in there. We're gonna have a few things we need to do here. We need to get a radiator, get an intercooler, figure out the heater thing. Yeah. What do you see?
It wasn't the turbo line in the way?
Yeah, the turbo. We need to do some of the turbo line. I think if we bent it up and then shorten this, that'd probably be fine.
Okay.
So I guess let's pull it out and start making some modifications. Pretty much it's going to work. It's just a question of changing a few things here and there. Well, guys, I think that's going to conclude another episode of VTEC Academy with our budget EG. We've got a few things we need to do to get it working properly. Not done yet. AD, got any final words about this thing?
I can't wait to see it run.
Me too. All right, guys, please think about liking and subscribing. We'll be back pretty soon with another episode on this, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks a lot.